Heard from Donald Trump. So how does a Jeb Bush supporter think his candidate did last night?
Well, let's ask Illinois Congressman and Jeb Bush surrogate Adam Kinzinger. Nice to see you this morning, Congressman.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yeah.
So you look at some of the immediate debate reaction. It looked like Marco Rubio had a pretty strong night, and he was sort of being praised as the guy that defended George W. Bush. Do you think that Jeb Bush did an adequate job of defending his brother last night?
Oh, yeah. Look, when you watch how Jeb did, I think, over the last 3 or 4 debates, he's gotten progressively even stronger. I think last night was his best debate. Not just performance, but substance. I mean, this is a guy, and this is why I like the governor so much, is he understands people's anger, but he shows a path out. He says, look, here's how we're going to get to a point where we don't have to be angry because we have a country that we know and a country that's working again. And, you contrast that to, your previous guest, Donald Trump, for instance, where it's just about pushing people down and being angry and yelling. It's a very different candidate. And I thought, look, he was the only guy on the stage to take on Donald Trump, too. Everybody's kind of frightened about it. And so I was very proud of his performance, and I think he's going to do very well in South Carolina.
Congressman, you and I have had a chance to talk about this on several occasions, and whether or not Jeb Bush is going to have that turning point, that moment in this election where he becomes a realistic threat to a leading candidate like Donald Trump. Donald Trump just dismissed Jeb Bush as not even somebody he's worried about. Was last night a turning point for Jeb Bush or not?
Donald Trump may not be worried about Jeb in his mind, but he's really worried about anybody that says anything negative about him. I mean, he's got such thin skin. It's unbelievable. It's like a third-grade thin skin. But look, I think if you look at how Jeb did in New Hampshire, you look at the fact that everybody's kind of in a fight for second place, and I think now a fight for first place after last night's debate performance by Trump. This is a jump ball. But the inspiration that Jeb has here in South Carolina, it's a strong veterans community. 12 living Medal of Honor recipients that have endorsed him. When I was walking around downtown Greenville just campaigning and shaking hands, people really like Jeb. So I think this is going to be a great state for us. Look, we have a lot of great candidates in this race, but I think Jeb stands head and shoulders above, frankly, everybody else.
You are a man who served in the military. We had a military panel on our show earlier this morning to discuss the debate performances last night. They all either said that it was Marco Rubio or Ted Cruz that came out strongest on foreign policy and the most likely to succeed in leading our military. Why Jeb Bush?
Well, look, again, Ted Cruz, Marco Rubio, great guys. They're senators. Jeb has a record of leadership in Florida, but not just talking about his record. He wants to marry that record to performance in the future, to turning the country around. The greatest threat right now to our civilization is our national debt. The second greatest is ISIS, and he has a comprehensive plan to defeat and destroy ISIS, to push back against Russia. I mean, last night, Donald Trump basically praised Russia and Putin, as he's done over the last few months, and attacked George W. Bush. This is a party that appreciates the leadership of George W. Bush and frankly understands that Putin's a bully and an actual threat to the security of our NATO partners in America. So, look, again, Jeb's the only guy that really pushed back on that, and I think he's a fantastic commander-in-chief. But we have a lot of great candidates out here.
All right, Congressman, good stuff. And by the way, we had a panel to kick off Fox and Friends this morning who, despite their political beliefs on either side, they said that they thought that was Jeb Bush's best night. Traded a lot of barbs with Donald Trump.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, Congressman.
You bet.